Hello, I'm Lori Stevens, your certified 8 to Great coach with powerful education solutions and life skills prep camp for this Wednesday wisdom. Okay, so on Monday we introduced the topic of time management. And I know we already talked about procrastination, and procrastination is part of time management, but time management is a bigger subject. So I wanted to just touch on that for a few minutes today and expand on it. So there are some reasons we don't understand how to manage our time. And when this is happening, students feel this intense pressure about time. And I can testify, I've been one of those people, like everything is managed by looking at my clock and it needs to be done in a certain time frame. That's the opposite of what I'm talking about. But reasons that people struggle with time management is procrastination, which we already talked about that. We have a Monday Minute and a Wednesday Wisdom published about that, so check that one out. There are distractions, so we may not manage our time because we're distracted by other things. For instance, I have a student who every day logs in for what I call table time, which is after school help. And so he says, okay, I'm going to check and see what I have to do. I say, okay, I'll check back with you in just a few minutes. Then I check with him and I say, okay, what do you have to work on today? And he says, oh, I got distracted and forgot what I was doing. So now he has to turn his screen on so I can keep track of what he's doing because he's already told me today is one of those days I'm going to be distracted. Another reason is lack of prioritization. That new shiny thing comes to our attention and we want to do that thing. And so we don't stick with what we're doing because we didn't realize that there was a time management issue with that, or there was a time pressure, or, oh, we can do it later, or whatever. And another one is overcommitment. So I may be involved in 18 things and all of a sudden I have something to do in all of those 18 things. Now I'm overcommitted and I'm not going to be successful at getting things done or managing my time well. And finally, and lastly, a reason is poor energy management. So if you know that a task that you have to do, let's say homework, a student with homework, and math is their worst subject ever, waiting until the very end of the day, the very end of the evening, and they've done all their other homework and now math is last, their energy level isn't going to be there to be successful at finishing up that math. So managing their time differently by doing the hard thing first might work. So let's talk about these things a little bit more. We don't really need to talk about procrastination because, again, there's a whole Wednesday Wisdom on that. Please feel free to check that out. But if it's time management issues because they're not sure how, there are ways to do that. But if it's about distractions, so we turn off all non-essential items around us. We might turn on music, not music that has words, but just instrumental music of some sort to have that background noise. It's kind of like a white noise. And YouTube has numerous free music tracks that help with study and concentration, that are certain wavelengths that apparently help the brain focus. So that's a really good one. Some kind of white noise just to black out all that extra noise. That's always a great idea. If there are distractions, one student, they have to come into my office to do homework because there's just too many distractions at home and they can't get away from them. So minimize the distractions around you to help you focus and manage your time like that. And then finally, with distractions, use blockers on your websites. If you're tempted to, oh, I got to go check this, or oh, I got to go check that. No, you don't. If it's in your head and you can't seem to get out of it, make a little note, check this later, and then stay focused on what you're doing. Lack of prioritization is another reason people might not manage their time well, because they don't understand how to put things in the correct order of priority. And specifically with students, we talk about grades and how they decide what is priority. And I help shape that idea for them in talking about it with, if they have a D in one class and an A in another class, it's going to be really important to do the work for the class with the D in it to help bring that grade up. But if we have a really big assignment due in that class that has an A and it's due tomorrow, you're going to have to really look at that. And we would probably advise to do that assignment next. See how that works? Of course. Okay, what else? Overcommitment, I already gave a great example of that. If you've got too many things going on, for instance, I have one student who does taekwondo. He does track when it's track season, but he does cross country when it's cross country. He likes to do basketball. I mean, he's got a lot of things going on in addition to his schoolwork. So figuring out what's the most important thing to do and when to get it done, because he has this overcommitment issue. And so then in further talking, he doesn't have the ability to just have downtime. So then he's always ramped up. So that's another thing to think about when you're prioritizing. Self-care is not selfish. I'll say it again. Self-care is not selfish, and it needs to be configured into your time and your planning to take care of yourself. This is important. If you want to talk more about specifically self-care, there are many coaches out there. I'd be happy to coach you, work through that with you, because self-care is super important for self-love. Okay, so the last one is poor energy management. Kind of touched on that a little bit. If your least favorite subject is math and you wait till the very end of all of your homework to do your math, your energy is not going to be where it needs to be. So really figure out how to put those things that take more energy at the right time slots. So here's something that some people don't think about. If a student, specifically with ADHD, and they're on medication, and they have school, and then they have after school activities, and then they have homework, and it's a lot. Sometimes it's better to just get up a little bit earlier in the morning and knock their homework out in the morning when they have more energy, because maybe they're a morning person. So really kind of help students get to know themselves with that part of it. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about with time management really is sometimes people can't do it because they don't know how to estimate time. Okay, specifically students, they don't know how to estimate time. So I work with them on what I call backtracking after we do estimation. So how to get them started is, if they have their list of assignments, they have to look specifically at the details of the assignment. So let's say it's a math assignment. It's page 151, 1 through 13 odd. Okay, how many problems is that? That's about half of 13, so about 6, right? In this case, it would be 7 problems. How long do you think it will take you to do these 7 problems? Okay, so about 20 minutes. Great. Okay, so we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes and another one for 20 minutes. The reason that we set it for the 10 minutes is because at 10 minutes, we should be halfway done. So we should be finishing up and already have started problem number 4 at the 10-minute mark in order to be done with number 7 at the 20-minute mark. Now, if at 10 minutes you're ahead, you overestimated how long it's going to take, right? And that's good to know. And then you should certainly finish by the 20-minute mark. If you're not finished at the 20-minute mark, that's okay. Mark where you were, set the timer again for however long, or set the stopwatch to see how long it goes up, and then add that to your 20 minutes. So now you get a better idea for estimation. And have them do this repeatedly for several weeks until they get better at that estimating time. And another way to play with this is just with younger kids. Well, how long do you think it's going to take you to go down the hall, get the toothpaste on your toothbrush, brush your teeth for 2 minutes, rinse your toothbrush, rinse your mouth, and get back here? Well, we already know it's going to take 2 minutes because we told them it's going to take them 2 minutes to brush their teeth. How long do you think it's going to take? Ready, set, go, and set the timer. All right, you're halfway mark. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Finish, finish, finish. However that looks, just to give them that felt sense of estimating time. Once they have that down, now we can start doing what I call backtracking. Okay, if I have to be done at 9 o'clock, and this assignment's going to take me a half an hour, and this assignment's going to take me 20 minutes, and this assignment's going to take me 10 minutes, and I have to organize my binder, and I have to, we backtrack it to figure out when do we need to start. And again, a lot of times they don't know how to do this, so we do it together until they get good at it, and then they become better estimators of time and planners of time, so therefore they manage their time better. If you have a student who's struggling with any of these skills, I am an executive functioning coach with Powerful Education Solutions and would love to help them. Check us out. Go to our website, powerfuleducationsolutions.com, and reach out. I'd love to have a conversation. Thanks so much. Have a good one.